people are asking a lot of questions. One, because Jeff dropped the video yesterday, a letter to ONEWHEEL. Which did you film that and edit it, or did somebody else?
No, Jeff filmed it and edited it.
Oh man, I thought that was well done. I really did.
It was.
I don't know what Future Motions will do to it, but I thought it was well done.
The idea is just to open a discussion. You know, I think it upset some people. It got some people stoked, but Jeff's intention with it was like he's had this idea for a long time of how maybe a repair network could work. And with all the rights repair stuff going on, he came to us yesterday. He was like, "You guys think it's a good or bad idea to like just do a video, just give my opinion?" And we're like, "Yeah, go ahead. Let's give it a go." So Julian turned some lights on and set the cameras up for Jeff and took off on vacation. Jeff hit record on the cameras and edited that up, and it's definitely started a dialogue. It's at like 10,000 some views. There's like 600 comments on it or something.
I just checked right before this. It's 11,000, and the One Wheel with Friends video from last week is at 8,000. So the traction is there in under 24 hours. Yeah. I think we have video footage of that too. If people don't know, this is what it looks like. Go find it. It's on the Float Life YouTube page. It's well done. Like, I laughed that he had a cup of coffee or whatever was in the mug, but he never drank from it. It was just...
Yeah, dude.
And I do that crap all the time. I have a mug sitting here, and I never... It just is to create this. No, this video's cool.
It's a vibe.
Yeah, it's a vibe for sure. Except for my wife over there.
I'm actually drinking it.
Yeah, she actually has coffee.
I will fall asleep if I don't.
So...
Yeah, same.
Okay, so
Shout out Caffeine Gang.
Yeah. Yes. Some people they do want to open up the conversation with rights to repair. We're not going to spend very long on this, but Bodhi, let me ask this question. Is it true, like I don't know, I've not done this yet. You guys at Float Life would know that. Is it true that the GT has a built-in system? If you take that battery out, it just dies? Like there's no going back?
If you unplug the BMS.
It's done.
Tell me, what is a BMS?
A battery management system.
Okay.
It's the brain in between the battery and the motor and the controller. So it makes sure that the battery's charged properly. It helps balance all the cells, and it makes sure power's going in and out at the right rates. So the BMS is essentially the battery's brain.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. Wow.
So you unplug that.
I just learned something new.
You're screwed.
You have a paperweight.
Yep.
So
that's happened to AJ. AJ at Wheel Fun Stuff was the one that took one for the team and figured that out.
Yeah, he shot the video where he disassembled it and put it all back together? Or is that
stop motion one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was him. That was tight.
Yeah, that was a sweet video. Okay, so yeah. That when I hear that, I get it. Why the ladies are laughing?
That was Lily's great question. I was thinking it in my head, but
What is a BMS?
What is BMS?
Oh yeah,
it's a good question.
And there's other thoughts of what
my questions answered.
That's right.
Most of the time I can get my questions answered.
I typically ask Scott first. Sorry, Bodhi.
No, I also do.
Okay, so now that poses question. Like Sanford asks in the chat, do you have to unplug that to change the tire? No.
So the only way that'll cause issues for you is if you want to swap out your battery pack. And I feel like where Future Motion is coming from on it is like, hey guys, we gave you the biggest, baddest battery we possibly can right now. Why do you even want to switch it out?
Right.
Which I'm guessing there's probably nicer cells than what they put in there, I assume. And so maybe the battery guys out there are like, well, I want to build my own pack and have like bigger, better cells or whatever, which I definitely understand. But also, it's such a tough subject because obviously we want to be able to work on our boards and make them exactly how we want them, battery pack and all. But also for ONEWHEEL, it's always going to be a liability concern. And when you think about like the hoverboards, when the hoverboards started catching fire and like blowing up on airplanes and like in businesses and stuff like that, hoverboards got just like fully outlawed. They were like, peace out hoverboards, you're done.
Yeah.
And so if somebody goes into their ONEWHEEL and they swap out their battery and then they put it back in and they ride their ONEWHEEL and it explodes or catches on fire in any kind of public setting on any kind of camera, nobody's going to know that that battery was not a stock battery. To the public, to the viewer, that's going to be a one wheel blowing up, catching on fire. Exactly. And so that's always their reasoning for most things, like the reason that they don't affiliate with us, liability. It's always a liability concern because for them at the end of the day, they're a company and they have to worry about all the things they have to worry about. They have lots of lawyers telling them what to do and what decisions to make. And so that's kind of the issue with that. And so where I'm coming from on the whole thing is I understand, but I think it's pretty lame that the board just bricks if you unplug it because it's over $2,000. But I think they could just stick with the same thing that they've been doing, where you put stickers on the controller and the battery that let it know if it's been opened. And if it's been opened, your board's no longer under warranty.
Yep. Yeah.
But you still
when I saw a comment today, that it made your board dead, I was bummed in some sense because it's like you make a mistake or you unplug it and you don't – like it probably should be said somewhere that that's what's going to happen, that if you unplug this, it's dead. Because I don't – yeah. Anyways, I also see where ONEWHEEL doesn't want people jacking with that stuff. I think fixing it is one thing, modifying it to make it faster and all those things. I can see where they want those limitations. But I think when it's broken, I think it's a different conversation. Like – it's a natural wear and tear. It breaks. Let me fix it, especially if you're out of warranty. Like what Jeff said, I thought it was so good when it's out of warranty. Can't we just take it somewhere? Because now, I thought it was great. Let's get off that topic. So many people want to hear more on it.
The one thing that I do want to say real quick before we move on from right to repair is that without ONEWHEEL, we wouldn't have ONEWHEELing, and they're a corporate company that has to constantly worry about lots of things, and liability is one of them. So I get that. But me being me, I said it today to the homie Drew from Wheel Stuff Fun Stuff. If it wasn't for Jeff and it wasn't for Float Life, I would not be who I am and riding the way I am. I could not be a one-wheeler. I could not race. I could not film videos. I could not do tricks if it wasn't for Jeff, because it is expensive as shit to ride ONEWHEELs hard. Excuse my language. To ride ONEWHEELs hard and like slide them and drop them and roll them and race them. Like they break constantly. I'm going through boards constantly. If it wasn't for Jeff, I wouldn't be able to ONEWHEEL. And a lot of guys I know that at one point in time were really heavy senders now can't ride as hard and don't ride as hard and go months without being able to ride because they can't keep their boards running.
Yeah.
And so I definitely would love some kind of sustainable system so that heavy extreme one-wheel riding can be a thing.
And I think ONEWHEEL's trying to figure out – this is my assumption without talking to them, just me observing online. For them to talk about a racing feature inside the app that I'm sure that they'll give to racers and things of that nature at Race for the Rails does tell me they're thinking differently all of a sudden. Like, okay, we know there's a group of people that ride these things to race and they can control it. You wouldn't want to, like my wife is amazing, but for her to jump on something that's unlocked in race mode is not the best. She would
danger.
Yeah.
Danger.
So I think they're starting to think a little bit different. It's just, I think with Jeff's trying to say, hey, let's get there a little bit faster so that you don't have boards just sitting around like I can't even.
Well, and I feel like the tough part for that too is like you'd want to advertise the GT to be like gnarly extreme board, but they can't really like advertise the gnarly dangerous crazy board because then people do that and they get hurt and they're like, oh, it's your fault. So like, I don't even know. Like so many of these issues that people battle future motion about, I have no idea how I would handle it.
Yeah. It's a tough one. When I always talk about it, Bodhi, I see it from both sides as a consumer, and then somebody that owns their own kind of like business in a sense of what I do. It's like I also see it from that side of like you tend to think bigger and you're responsible for hundreds of people instead of one individual that you know can ride this. Now all of a sudden you have to think, okay, out of 100 people, one can ride really good. The rest have no idea what they're doing. Hey, Jeff, can you hear me?
Nice
Loud
shot.
and clear, buddy.
Hey, I just want to say great job on the video of the rights to repair. You spoke well. It wasn't confrontational. It was straight from the heart. It was shot well. My only drawback on the thing, I never saw you take a drink from the coffee cup, so I don't think it was full. in the video?
It was, there's a little splash left in it. A little splash. I had to cut a couple of ums and a couple of sits out, you know what I'm saying? But it turned out pretty good. I'm definitely happy with it. Shout out to the 69 people watching right now. Bless up. That's dope. Yeah, I'm pumped, man. And yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed it. I mean, no disrespect to anyone who got bummed out by it, but I'm just trying to find a common middle ground and jumping off point where everyone can agree, you know?
Yeah, and I don't know, like, I think everybody's always looking for a negative angle on something, but I thought you did it really well. It just didn't, you weren't picking a fight. You're just like, hey, can we start talking? And so, for whatever it's worth, some dude in Minnesota right here said you did well, and it looked good, and yeah, however we can help in the conversation, we would love to. So, and I told Bodhi also the One Wheel Friends video that One Wheel dropped last week with you guys, so good. And I said to Bodhi, it communicated something more than just a funny cheese video, but of like two places coming together and saying, hey, we do get along, actually. I don't have the beef with them or them, so I thought it was good.
And everyone can love
it. Yeah, so. Fingers crossed we can get something working in the future here, you know. Put out that olive branch and hopefully they take it. So
yes.
We'll see what's up. I got to run. Scott, I got a super special present for you headed your way next week, so keep an eye out for it. It'll help you pump up the volume. You'll be stoked. And I'm sure your viewers will get a kick out of it too. So I'll check you guys out.
If you're watching and you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so. We would love you to subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Like turn on the bell notification.